video we will discuss how to graph a parabola when the equation is given. But before going to how to plot a graph of a parabola, we must review our parabola that we already discussed in a previous video in a very detailed way. So just take a review of parabola. That if I have a x-axis and a y-axis, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis, and here is a origin point which is 0, 0 and the vertex of this, and we have to plot a parabola. As what is a parabola? That the parabola is a set of all points which are equidistant from a fixed point which is we called a focus, and a fixed line which is called a directrix is called a parabola, and this is parabola. This is a focus, and if this length is a, then I have a coordinate of a focus which is a0, and the distance between the vertex and focus is same as the distance between the vertex and this directrix line. So this directrix line is this, and as which is equals to minus a, as the magnitude is same but it is opposite to this axis. And we also discuss one more thing, that the line segment that passes through a focus and parallel to this directrix line, or we say that the line which passes through a focus that is perpendicular to this axis, the major axis, and endpoints lie on a curve is called a latus rectum. That if I draw this line over here, then this is called a latus rectum. Length of the latus rectum which is 4a. So we have the endpoints of the latus rectum which are these 2 points of our latus rectum. So if the length of this is a, then it will be 2a, and in a similar way the length of focus to this endpoint is also 2a. So we have our endpoint of the latus rectum which is a, comma plus minus 2a, which is these 2 points. Means here is a point which is a plus 2a, and in that side a, and second is minus 2a. So this is the endpoints of latus rectum if the equation of a parabola which is 4ax or y square which is equals to minus 4ax, and we have a endpoints of a latus rectum if we have the equation of a parabola in a form of x square which is equals to 4ay or x square which is equals to minus 4ay. That this is a short review of a parabola that we already discussed in a very detailed way in a previous video. Let us take first example that the equation is given and plot a graph, and this equation shows that a vertex at origin. So we need to find a focus and we find the directrix. Then we are able to plot it on a graph. And to see this equation, the vertex of this which is equals to origin which is 0, 0. Standard equation of parabola in that case which we already drive in a previous lecture in a very detailed way. So which is that y square which is equals to 4ax. If I say this equation is 1 and we say this equation is 2, then I say that compare 1 and second equations. So what we get? We get which is equals to 4a which is equals to a. Now we have to find the value of a which is equals to a which is equals to 2. And what is the focus that we already discussed is that a0. So the focus is to 0, and we discussed that what is the directrix and how to find it. So it will be x which is equals to minus 2, and the vertex that we already find it as origin which is 0, 0, and the axis y is equals to 0. And so now it's time to plot it. So here is the x-axis and here is a y-axis. So first we plot a focus on it. That here is a focus which is 2 into 0. So here is a point which is 2, 0, and the directrix which is, if this is a which is equals to 2, then the directrix as to move to minus 2. So here is a line which is equals to x is equals to minus 2. Vertex which is 0, 0. As the given equation reveals the fact that the parabola open in on our right side, the value of a is positive. That the parabola opens towards the focus and away from this directrix line, means the parabola doesn't open in this side. So we need to find points that we plot a graph on it. If we have the equation y is equals to 4ax, then the endpoints of a lattice rectum on a curve is a plus minus 2a, a which is equals to 2, then plus minus 2a which is equals to plus minus 2, and the a is 2 which is equals to plus minus 4. So we have these 2 points which are points as 2 plus 4 and the other point which is 2 minus 4. So here is a point 2, and if we take a point which is 4 is something here, and 2 minus 4 which is something here, and if I join these 2 points on it, then we will find a required parabola. Always remember one thing, that if this length is a, then this length will be 2a. In a similar way, the length of this is a double of a, means 2a. So if we draw a very accurate graph of a parabola, then we take a points. The given equation which is y square which is equals to 8x. So it's your choice that you put the value of x and get a value of y, or just put a value of y and get a value of x. So both ways are possible, but the convenient way that I will take this and y square divided by 8. It means that I put the value of y and I will get a value of x. So this is a y square, means if I will enter plus minus value, then it doesn't affect the value of x. If y is equals to plus minus 1 square divided by 8, so it will be 1 divided by 8, which is equals to 0.125. So here is 0.125. So if I will put a value which is plus minus 2, then x which is equals to plus minus 2 square, I put values in this term divided by 8. So it will be 4 divided by 8, and it is 1 divided by 2, which is equals to 0.5. So I will get 0.5, and I just put a larger value. So if I put plus minus 4, you will also put the value of plus minus 3 as well. So if I put this positive 2, so here is 2. Okay, so I will put a value which is 5, and I think this is enough points that I will take it. It will be a 3.1. So here is a point 3.1. The value of y is 1, then the value of x is something 0.125, means a point is something here, and in a similar way this is a point which is something here. And if the value of y which is positive 2, then it will be 0.5. 0.5 is something here, and here is a point of 2. So we get a second point. And if the value of y is negative 2, then it will be a 0.5, which is a point is here. And if I will take a plus minus 4, if the value of y is negative 4, then the value of x will be 2. So here is a point that we already find it. And lastly, we take a point which is positive 5, and here is a 3.1 something here. So here is a point which is on a parabola, and in a similar way, if I will take a negative 5 is here, and 3.1 is something here. So here is a point. So in this way we will plot our accurate graph. So first of all, if we rewrite it as that x square which is equals to minus 1 divided by 8 y. X square which is equals to y. It means that the working axis is y axis, and this negative sign indicates that the parabola opens to the downward, which is x square which is equals to minus 4ay. And if we compare these two equations, then what we will get, which is 4a which is equals to 1 divided by 8. So we have to find the value of a. So if we simplify, it will be a is equals to 1 divided by 32, and if we divide 1 divided by 32, we will get a decimal which is 0.031. The focus in that case, which is equals to 0 minus a, which is equals to 0 minus 1 divided by 32, or we can write it as that 0 minus 0.31. The directrix as y which is equals to positive 1 divided by 32 means positive 0.031. What is a focus which is 0? And means our focus is 0 in x-axis, and in y-axis it will be minus 0.03, means which is something here, means here is a focus. And if we take a vertex which is something here, and the line is y which is equals to 1 divided by 30. So the value of a which is equals to that we find is 0.031. In that case, what is the endpoints of the lattice rectum, which is plus minus 2a with a, plus minus 2a which is equals to plus minus 2 and multiply with 0.031, so it will be plus minus 0.062. First point is plus 0.062 and the other point is 0.031, and the other point is minus 0.062, and in y-axis 0.031. 0.062 is something here, and in y-axis the point is here, and here is also a point which is this. So we will find these 2 points, and if we draw a parabola on it, then we will be this term as well. This way. This way, we using these 2 points, we plot a parabola. And so in our last example, we have this given equation, and this given equation reveals that the working axis is x-axis, and this negative sign shows that it opens on a left side. The standard equation of a parabola in this perspective will be y square which is equals to minus 4ax, and if we compare these 2 equations, then what we get? We get that 4a which is equals to 2, means we have to find the value of a which is 1 divided by 2. So the focus in that case 0 minus a, and which is equals to 0 minus 1 divided by 2. The directrix will be x which is equals to positive 1 divided by 2. So, and the vertex is at origin. So here is our vertex point which is 0, 0. So in x-axis the 0, and in y-axis the value which is something here, means here is our focus. And if there is a focus, then here is our directrix line which is something just like that, means x is equals to 1 divided by 2, and if a which is equals to 1 divided by 2, then the end points will be, in that case, is a plus minus 2a. Okay, so if a is this, then plus minus 2a which is equals to 1, means plus minus 1. So we will get 2 points. First is 1 divided by 2 and 1, and other is 1 divided by 2 minus 1. 1 divided by 2, and in that case here is a point, and in this here is a point. So if I draw it as in this way, and I will draw it in this way. This is a parabola, So in this way you can plot it, and if you want to a very accurate point, then draw a table and just to put the values on it. So if I put a value of y, then I will get a value of x, that is y square, which is equals to x minus 1 divided by 2. Put this value. Okay, so I will put and get a value of x. If I will put plus minus 1, then I will get minus 0.5, and if I will put plus minus 2, then I will get minus 2. So this is a point that we already find it. In y-axis the value is positive 2, then in x-axis the value is negative 2, means negative 2 and positive 2, that is. If you check it out, that this is a point which is negative 2 and positive 2, and in a similar way here is a point and here is a negative 2. So we get a point as well which is negative 2 and negative 2. So in this way you can plot a parabola on a graph when the vertex is at origin. In our next video we will discuss that how to graph a parabola when the vertex is not on the origin. So it's all about today's lecture. If you like this, then don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share.